Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a story that has rocked the music and entertainment world.
A clown is not going to scare me.
Really?
Yes. I'm not afraid of clowns.
The controversy surrounding Sean P. Diddy Combs. For decades, Diddy was seen as a mogul, a trendsetter, and a music industry giant. But now, his reputation is being torn apart by serious allegations, lawsuits, and even federal charges. We're going to break down everything you need to know in 9 key points. No fluff, just the facts. Stick around because this one gets wild. The initial allegations. Cassie Ventura's lawsuit. It all started in November 2023 when Cassie Ventura, a singer and model who was in a long-term relationship with Diddy, dropped a bombshell lawsuit.
Ceiling.
Yes.
You're one of the first. One of the first.
You know, I'm blessed to be in this industry.
Yes. And you're
She accused him of rape, physical abuse, a long relationship. The lawsuit described chilling incidents of alleged control, manipulation, and violence. One of the most shocking claims was that while he watched. Cassie also alleged that he regularly beat her and threatened her career if she tried to leave. But here's the craziest part. The lawsuit was settled within just 1 day of being filed. 1 day. Many people found this suspicious. A case with such serious accusations usually drags on for years, but this was over in 24 hours. Some believe Diddy paid her off to keep things quiet, while others think Cassie wanted justice without a prolonged legal battle. Either way, this lawsuit wasn't the end. It was just the beginning. After Cassie spoke up, more women came forward with their own accusations against Diddy, kicking off a wave of lawsuits that would shake his empire. A flood of lawsuits and accusations. Cassie's case opened the floodgates. In the months that followed, at least 4 more women came forward with their own lawsuits against Diddy. Each one described similar patterns of abuse, physical violence, coercion, and sexual misconduct. Some of these lawsuits dated back decades, with women alleging that they had been afraid to speak out because of Diddy's power in the industry. One particularly disturbing accusation came from a woman who claimed that in the early 1990s, Diddy and R&B singer Aaron Hall, and that Diddy even recorded the attack. If true, this would show a long history of disturbing behavior. Another lawsuit accused Diddy of revenge porn, saying he used intimate footage to control his ex-partners. The more lawsuits that appeared, the harder it became for Diddy to brush off the allegations. He initially denied everything, calling the claims baseless and an attack on his legacy. But public opinion was shifting fast, and many people were no longer buying his denials. The 2016 surveillance video, The Game Changer. For a while, the allegations were just words on paper. This was hard evidence of Diddy's violence, and it completely destroyed his credibility. Within hours, the internet exploded with outrage. Celebrities who had stayed silent started distancing themselves from him. Even longtime friends like Jay-Z and Mary J. Blige stopped defending him. Facing massive backlash, Diddy released a public apology, calling his behavior inexcusable and saying he was a different person now. But the damage was done. The apology felt forced, and most people saw it as a last-ditch attempt to save his career. Federal agents raid Diddy's homes. The investigation escalates. If you thought things couldn't get worse, think again. In March 2024, federal agents raided Diddy's homes in Los Angeles and Miami as part of an ongoing investigation. This meant that the government wasn't just treating these as isolated incidents. They were looking at a potential criminal enterprise. Witnesses described the raids as SWAT-style takedowns, with helicopters, armed officers, and high-tech surveillance equipment. The feds weren't playing around. Reports suggested that they were searching for electronic devices, financial records, and other evidence related to Diddy's alleged activities. This was a turning point. Civil lawsuits are one thing, but when the feds get involved, that's a whole different ballgame. He could be looking at decades behind bars. This wasn't just about his career anymore. His freedom was on the line. The arrest and federal charges, laundering. This was huge. The indictment alleged that he had been running a criminal operation for years, using his status to exploit young women and silence victims. Diddy pleaded not guilty, but the judge denied him bail multiple times. Prosecutors argued that he was a flight risk and that he had a history of witness intimidation. This meant he was sitting in federal custody, unable to use his money and influence to escape the situation. His legal team has been fighting hard to get him released, but so far the courts aren't budging. If convicted, Diddy could be facing a life sentence, and let's be real, beating federal charges isn't easy. The U.S. government doesn't indict celebrities unless they have serious evidence. Kanye West's controversial defense of Diddy. When a scandal of this magnitude shakes the industry, you can always expect some celebrities to pick sides. One of the most unexpected figures to come to Diddy's defense was Kanye West. In early 2025, Kanye went on a social media rant, claiming that the allegations against Diddy were part of a larger conspiracy to bring down powerful black men in the entertainment industry. He suggested that Diddy's downfall was orchestrated by the same people who had allegedly tried to cancel him in the past. This immediately sparked backlash. Critics pointed out that Kanye was defending a man who had been with video evidence supporting some of the claims. Even longtime fans of Kanye were divided. Some agreed that there could be a hidden agenda, while others saw his comments as tone-deaf and irresponsible. Cassie herself didn't hold back. She indirectly responded by reposting a message that said people like Kanye should shut the F up instead of defending abusers. Other celebrities, including Diddy's former close friends, remained silent, unwilling to take sides in such a damaging case. Kanye's defense of Diddy might have been an attempt to challenge the system, but in reality, it only isolated him further from the mainstream industry. The impact on the music industry. Diddy's downfall has sent shockwaves through the music industry, forcing artists, executives, and brands to reevaluate their ties with him. For decades, Diddy was seen as an icon, a self-made mogul who built an empire from the ground up. But with these allegations, his entire legacy is crumbling. First, business partnerships began to collapse. Brands like Ciroc Vodka and De Leon Tequila, which were once heavily associated with Diddy, started distancing themselves. Revolt, the media network he founded, saw a decline in partnerships and advertisers. Even his longtime clothing brand, Sean John, faced backlash, leading to rumors that its remaining retailers might pull his products from stores. More importantly, this scandal has sparked a larger conversation in the hip-hop and R&B industries. Many are now questioning how many other powerful figures have abused their status to exploit women. Hip-hop has always had a complicated relationship with power, money, and control, but this case might be the breaking point. Some believe Diddy is just the first domino to fall and that others will soon face exposure. Meanwhile, artists who once collaborated with him are scrambling to erase their connections. Songs featuring Diddy are being quietly removed from streaming playlists, and major award shows that once celebrated him as a legend are now ignoring his contributions. If he doesn't beat the charges, his influence over the music industry could vanish completely. Public reaction, a nation divided. The court of public opinion has been split down the middle. While some have completely turned against Diddy, others believe he is being unfairly targeted. Social media has become a battleground, with passionate debates on both sides. On one hand, those who support the victims argue that the evidence is overwhelming. The surveillance footage of Diddy assaulting Cassie was a turning point, proving that at least some of the allegations have merit. Many people believe that this is another R. Kelly situation, where a powerful man in the music industry was allowed to act with impunity for years before finally facing justice. On the other hand, there are die-hard Diddy fans who insist that he is being framed. Some argue that the sudden flood of lawsuits and the speed of the federal raids suggest that there could be a larger agenda at play. They believe the government and media have turned on him because he was a successful black billionaire who built his own empire outside the traditional music industry power structure. Adding to the division are conspiracy theories. Some claim that Diddy's downfall is linked to his past connections with politicians and major corporate figures. Others believe the government is using him as an example to crack down on hip-hop culture. Despite the debate, one thing is clear. Diddy's reputation is in shambles. Even if he somehow avoids prison, his legacy has already been permanently tainted. What's next for Diddy? The road ahead. As of March 2025, Diddy remains in federal custody, awaiting his trial. His legal team has been working around the clock to challenge the charges, arguing that the lawsuits are based on old accusations and that he is being unfairly targeted by the justice system. However, the prosecution seems confident, given the amount of evidence they've gathered. If convicted, Diddy could face decades in prison. Experts say his best hope is to strike a plea deal, but that would mean admitting guilt, which would be a death sentence for his career. On the other hand, if he fights the case and loses, he could be behind bars for the rest of his life. Outside of court, Diddy's businesses are falling apart. His companies are struggling without him, his endorsements are gone, and even his closest allies in the industry have abandoned him. His sons, Christian and Justin Combs, have stayed mostly silent, while other family members are rumored to be distancing themselves to avoid the fallout. So, what does the future hold? Will Diddy somehow escape this scandal, or will he go down as one of the biggest disgraced figures in music history? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain. The era of PDiddy is over. Now, we want to hear from you. Do you think Diddy is guilty, or is there a chance this is a setup? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and let's talk about it. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more updates on this crazy case.